Hope everyone is doing well. Jong Uy here, and welcome back for another song demo or preset playthrough. And today we are going to take a look at a massive library. This is the Cinematic Guitars Infinity by Sample Logic. Why I said massive, it has 6,000 presets, and this bundle contains 4 different libraries: Cinematic Guitars 1, 2, and 3, and Cinematic Guitars Infinity. So we're gonna try to make a track right now using all 4 in the bundle. And aside from that one, this might take long and this might take a little bit different, but we are going to make another separate video for the preset playthrough of this one if you want to go through. But for sure, 6,000 presets, I won't be able to let you listen to all of those. This is massive, this is very big, so let's start now. Cinematic Guitars Infinity by Sample Logic is indeed a massive instrument. So it contains 4 libraries: Cinematic Guitars 1, 2, and 3, and the Cinematic Guitars Infinity. So this is a relaunch, and this time it requires the full version of Contact. So Cinematic Guitars is a complete package, which you will be able to see it later. It has not only guitars, but also percussives, loops, beats, transition, and all the different components you need to create a cinematic track. Plus, what I like the most are the endless combination of possibilities. You can mix and match different instruments or chord presets to your liking and manipulate them, how they will arpeggiate, how they will sound, and what volume and panning each instrument, and even you could create your own flow and create your unique instrument. So again, it's massive and it has endless of combination possibilities. Okay, checking out the track that I have here for you right now, and I was able to use all 4 inside the bundle: Cinematic Guitars 1, 2, and 3, and the Cinematic Guitars Infinity. And out of all the tracks, the only instrument that is not Cinematic Guitars Infinity are the drums. But Cinematic Guitars Infinity contains lots of percussion inside. I'm gonna show you right now the different percussion that you could get inside the Cinematic Guitars Infinity. So right here on the loops, there are lots of presets right here. So since this is a cinematic library, it has the action pack, electronic, hats, melodic, pop, hop, world, organic. So I'm gonna play a few of them right here. And aside from that one, from the loops, they also have this percussive. So inside percussive, you also have the arpeggiated, the impacts electronic, the impacts industrial, impacts world, and a bunch of transition, which I'd like to show you right now. So it has also those. So when you say cinematic guitars, it's not all guitars, but it also has those. So those are stuff that you could get inside the bundle. So now let's dive into the track that I made right here. I have, I think, more than 10 tracks using the Cinematic Guitars Infinity bundle. So let's start off with pads. Sounds like this. Next up, I have this arpeggiator. It's the first arpeggiator on the track. I got that from the Cinematic Guitars tree. Sounds like this. Next up, I have this melodic loops from Cinematic Guitars Infinity. Sounds like this. Next up, the same instruments from the melodic group, but this time I just only use the bass. Sounds like this. So what I did there is that I muted or I lowered the volume in some of the core instruments right there and just used this tree. So without that instruments right here, without the ticking down the time ticker, it sounds like that, just only the bass. Okay, so that is how versatile this instrument is. And of course, aside from that one, you could also go around right here and change different preset that you might want to include in that instrument. Next up, I have a melody right here. I think I got this from the synth. Sounds like this. And next up, making this more interesting is the Cinematic Guitars one, which is the rock guitar, and it sounds like this. I have another guitar right here just to change the sort of the riff. Sounds like this. Even though you're a guitar player, or I am a guitar player, this also a very useful thing, especially if you're making cinematic tracks. This is a very handy instrument where you could just plug and play it into your cinematic tracks. So next up, I have another guitar right here. Sounds like this. It has lots of those, right? Very nice riff there. Next up, I have an arpeggiator right here from the Cinematic Guitars tree. Sounds like this. Next up, just like what I mentioned, I was able to use all four of them. This one comes right here from the Cinematic Guitars 2. It's a sequence strung up. Sounds like this. There we go. Next up, I have to double down on the melody. This time, a while ago, I was able to use a synth. This time, I'm gonna use a black bass stringer. last but not the least, right here, still, oh, there we go. It's the metal power chords from Cinematic Guitars 2. Sounds like this. So there you have it. Those are the different instruments I used for the track. And as you can see, I was able to use all 4 bundles at least. And there are really lots of stuff going on inside this engine right here. So as you can see, if we're gonna go through the Cinematic Guitars Infinity, there you go, instruments. You go from Cinematic Guitars 1, 2, and 3. Let's go to 1. You have Atmospheres, instrumentals, percussive. In the Atmospheres, you have the Ambience, the Stingers. In the instrumental, you have arpeggiated, you have guitar loops, and there you go. There are a bunch of loops and instruments right here. For the loop, there's tons also, alternative rock, electronic, metal, industrial, and a whole lot more. To be honest with you, I wasn't able to go through all of those because it has a lot. It really has a lot. And still in the Cinematic Guitars 1, we also have this percussive and the impacts and the kits and the loops. To be honest, I really wasn't able to go through all of them, but well, it really has tons. And there we go, Cinematic Guitars 2 right here. Atmospheres again, instrumentals, percussive again, the same library segregation, but different sounding and very unique sounding guitars, and of course, and instrumentals and percussive. And of course, let's go to the latest one, which is the Cinematic Guitars Infinity. They also have all of this, the atmospheres, instrumentals, and loops and percussives, and they have lots of stuff going on right here. So now let's dive into the track that I've made, and that's it for this video. And after that one, I'm gonna try to make a preset playthrough of not all, but majority of the stuff that I think that might be useful to you. So I'm gonna drop it as soon as possible. So thank you so much for watching, and let's dive into the track right now.